Hello and welcome back to a new YouTube cast. Today we're going to be having a look at the Korea play-in qualifier for the season finals of the DreamHack Masters. It's going to be the top right spawning as the Red Terran Maru, and the bottom left spawning as the Blue Zerg. It's going to be Dragon Phoenix Gaming Dark, where we have Maru starting with what seems to be a little bit of a 2-Rex. Third SCV stays home, so it's going to remain a 2-Rex for now. Now the thing here for Dark that's going to be really important is to make sure that he scouts that it's a 2-Rex. That's not some different kind of strategy, no 3-Rex, no standard stuff, and I think he might just barely miss it or barely get it. Sometimes it's very, very difficult to say. Oh. That's extremely close. Now, you could say that this is not great for Dark, but on the other hand, these barracks are very far away. Obviously, scouts to close by locations. There's still a dark spot over here that he hasn't seen yet, but I mean, this isn't too close, so these Marines will need to walk very far. We've seen Zergs getting better and better at defending the 2-Rex with just pooling drones. Now, the way you do want to defend 2-Rex is with pooling drones. Against most 3-Rexes, you want to deal with it either... most of the time we see with roaches, so slightly different way to deal with it. Here come the SCVs moving out. Overlord coming back in position to scout anything coming forward. Once he sees the 2 SCVs, he most likely will start pooling drones. Here we go. Couple of drones are being pulled. Oh my god, this is a big drone. How many drones is this? This is what, 12? 14 drones or so. So this actually is going to be quite important that he kills an SCV or 2. He needs to be able to cancel the bunker as well. Will be able to chase these Marines. Good micro with these drones. Gets the surround. Absolutely gets everything. Gets 2 Marines. Gets an SCV. Loses 3 drones so far. This SCV will die. Second SCV dies as well. And just like that, this push pretty much ends. So it's 2 SCVs lost against 3 drones lost. A couple of Marines have gone down as links are out right now. This is looking very good here for Dark, who, like I said, had a pretty much perfect defense. Big worker pool though, so he did lose a lot of minerals there, but I mean, this is pretty much the dream scenario, right? If you're deciding on pulling that many workers, you get the surround on the first 2 Marines, you get the SCV building the bunker, you get the second SCV. I think you're gonna be pretty glad how it turned out. Are you gonna see Dark try to run by with 2 links? He tries to, does not quite manage. I'd love to see them go through the bottom side and try to get some damage on this command center. Maybe try to kill an SCV before the reactor Hellions start pumping out, because I assume that's what it's going to be, right? We're going to be seeing a reactor being built here, followed up by a starport. Most likely going to be some kind of Hellion drop. It's the most common follow-up we see from this opener, is that the 4 Hellion drop. I'd be very surprised if we see anything else. Oh, I love this play by Maru. Saying, alright. This might actually indicate that he's playing mech, or that he doesn't want to use this barracks, at least for a little bit. He's going to be blocking the 3rd base with this. This is so cool. Now, Dark actually isn't planning on taking the 3rd too quick. Wait, is he? What is he doing? Is he going to take the forward 3rd base? No way, right? I cannot imagine that. Now let's see how Maru's barracks micro is here. Is he gonna be capable of blocking it another time by lifting it? But I don't think so. I'm not even sure if he's gonna lift it or just gonna let it die. I wouldn't mind if he lifts it. If he lets it die, that could be indicative of some kind of mech player. Now, he's gonna lift it. He's gonna try to go for a scout into the main base. We don't actually have the drop that I was expecting, by the way. We are seeing some Hellions and we saw a fast starport, but all of this was just for a fast fusion core. Second gas started as well, so it's going to be battle cruiser, obviously. It's going to be the weirdest range liberator timing, which isn't really a thing anymore. There used to be some range lib builds back in the day, but these have all gone and died. Yeah, it's just not that great with the new range and the new and the current map pool. I mean, there's not that many good locations where you can put them, but yeah, mainly the range. Now, 2 Hellions are on the map right now, trying to get some map control back here for Maru. 3rd command center is on the way as well on the high ground. Do we have any scouting info here for Dark? No, we don't really. He seems to be preparing for that Hellion drop, just like I mentioned. It is really the most popular follow-up that there is currently from the 2 racks here for Terran. So we see a well-prepared Dark, but needlessly so, because it's not going to be the case. We have another Spore coming down as well, getting ready for Banshees at all possible bases. No Spore yet on the 3rd base, but we see a very decent lead here for Dark, who is up in workers, who has a good queen count, 6 out already, Spores in position, Baneling Nest is being started as well, so even if this was a Hellbat push, he would be fine. Now here we have our Spire on the way, as well as Stim, and the single battlecruiser is about to pop. A couple of Hellions are moving out. 4 Hellions will join up with that initial battlecruiser, I believe. Where's it gonna jump is the question, of course. Straight into the main base. There is a Spore there. Oh, actually unburrows it, so that's gonna cost him a couple of workers. Queens are moving in very rapidly. 5, 6, 7. 7 drones are going down here. 8 drones. Yeah, good start here for Maru. Getting a lot of damage with this one battlecruiser. So forces a full pool on the minerals here. Loses his Hellions, so that's kind of sloppy. So 4 Hellions, a lot of damage on this battlecruiser. I think if he keeps the Hellions alive, this might be kind of worth it. But now losing those Hellions, I mean, it's still nice damage, but Dark still seems to be in a fantastic spot. Just rebuilds a bunch of drones immediately. No 4th base on the way yet, though, which surprises me a little bit. His money definitely seems to be allowing it. Yeah, there we finally go. 4th base is on the way. Battlecruiser is just being used as a Phoenix right now. I've mentioned it before. It's the world's most expensive Phoenix. Clearing overlords. Annoying queens a little bit. And back goes the Phoenix. Might just walk back home or run back home. Actually, I don't think he will be able to. Mutas are out. Kind of forgot about the Spire being built as well. And I don't think Maru is aware of that. Oh, teleport is just now off of cooldown. So I don't think Dark is going to be able to actually get this battlecruiser. But he sure can try. He sure can try. I think he's going to stack up all of his Mutalisks. So it's going to be 2 shots. But Maru somehow smells that and is like, alright, time to teleport. Not quite sure if he spotted the Mutas. I think he did. But if he does, then this move out makes very, very little sense. One Muta about to fall here. 2nd Muta about to no. Managed to survive. Does not go down. How many barracks are we at currently? We're at 5 barracks. And we have a couple of tanks out as well. 1-1 is about to finish up. So Maru actually on pretty decent upgrade. Still down in workers though. Creep spread is starting to look very healthy here for Dark, who has a lot of creep here pushed to that top side of the map. Couple of Marines trying to snipe a Muta, but kind of backfires on them as 4 of the brothers in arms do end up falling. 1 Muta dies as well, but 1 Muta for 7, 8 Marines. I'm not sure if that's a terrible trade. Good control here, honestly, by the Mutalisk man. Mr. Dark, who's putting in a lot of work. 1-1 finishes up. Combat Shield is about to finish up as well. And you see Maru actually, I don't want to say making a bit of a comeback, but definitely kind of getting back into this game. Just making sure that he is going to be competitive. What the hell, 11 Overlords at the same time? Is this Elaser I'm watching? He did just build 11 Overlords at the same time. That's an expensive little joke right there, my friend. Oi, 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 oi. Look at that oversupply. That could have been a lot of units. Now we see 10 drones extra on the way. For that 5th base, for that 4th base saturation. There's a couple of Banes out. We have Baneling speed done. There's a crap ton of Mutas as well. I think he should be able to just clear this push, but instead Dark wants to play it safe. Decides, well, I've seen Maru micro before. I don't want to be the guy to be going up against that. Oh, snipes 2 medevacks, 2 tanks go down, just like that. Good control here by Dark. 4th base for Maru is halfway done right now. 5th base is about to finish up for Dark. So once again, Dark in a good position. Did lose a little bit of that creep down here, so needs to get back to spreading that. The complete bottom side actually is not that well spread when it comes to creep. Mural is still flying around, trying to find some damage, trying to to poke a little bit, and Maru is just being very, very patient, very careful. High worker count. We see this a lot in Terrans. When they get behind, they get those high worker counts and they just play defensive. They want to get back into the game. Now the problem, of course, usually is that creep threat does tend to kind of spiral out of control if you can't really move out. So that's the one thing that Maru needs to be careful about. You can't really drop either. Like, you can just send 2 medevacs across the map because Mutas will be able to clean that up. We have 18 Mutalisk out, plus 2 attack is on the way. Bit of a run by here, or at least of a setup of a run by. Marines are moving towards the middle. 1 Muta does end up falling. 85 workers against 80 currently. First Tor is on the way out, or is that the second Tor? No, first Tor is on the way out. Manages to pop out real fast. Second factory. No, it's already done, so this is a third factory. Wow. It's gonna be some big mine production here coming out of Maru. Fourth base about to be taken. Very passive game here for Maru, who doesn't really feel like he can move out currently. Maybe he's gonna try with 2-2 once he establishes this fourth base with planetary. It's of course a good possibility. It's also a good possibility that our boy Dark is gonna decide to pounce here. He has a bit of money in the bank. Now, how good is this setup really? 2-2 isn't done yet for Dark, so I don't think he's gonna pounce too quickly. Bunch of turrets here in the natural, making sure that his Mutas can't do anything. Random Marines being sent out on the map. Now, why the hell would he do that, you might ask? And it's because he wants to get a better army. He wants to be getting rid of those Marines, which looks a little bit silly without medevacs. We see him going into more Marauders. Still getting a Marine as well, but what's he gonna get with these 2 tech lab factories actually? Is it gonna be for Thors or... Don't quite know. Maybe for like a tank transition eventually. There's 4 tech labs on these barracks. 5. We have 5 tech labs on barracks. Or 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, my first count was correct. You have the single battle cruiser still doing some damage as well. 8 marine drop going towards the bottom side of the map. Spine and Spore will be able to maybe delay or at least annoy a little bit. Maybe not even delay. Maru is just gonna focus workers, but just having that Spore puts a little bit of a clock usually on this kind of thing. You see the medevac is going down pretty rapidly. 3 workers have gone down. Drop continues on into the main base. Creep is looking absolutely fantastic here for Dark, who is having a rather healthy bank as well. Mutalisk find this drop. Now, the thing that Maru wants to do is, I guess, just staying passive for now. He does not want to fight. He does not want to do anything. He's just gonna stay back, sit back, and hopefully get a massive army. And then eventually with 3-3 perhaps start taking some trades. I mean, he does have a pretty good Marauder force already. 10 Marauders, so ultimately shouldn't be that big of an issue. There's an okay-ish mine count as well. Actually, that's not true. There's only 3 mines. That's not an okay-ish mine count. That's a pretty terrible mine count. Mutalisk doing a lot of damage here. We'll be able to get some SCVs. At least there's not a lot of damage yet, but the potential to do a lot of damage is here. As they snipe turret after turret. Big run by going into the natural base. Actually struggling with some depots there. Banelings rolling forward. We'll be able to clear a lot of this SCVs. 15 go down. Natural base. SCVs falling as well. If 3-3 gets cancelled, that would be a very big deal. I'm not sure if Dark is paying attention though. Is Adrenal Glands done? Yes, it is. Yeah, once again, these links aren't really being controlled. We have these Mutalisk looking for some damage, but not sure if attacking into 16 Marines is quite the play. Gonna need to see a scan here to deal with these links. I mean, scans in abundance. It seems like, holy crap, he has a lot of energy saved up. For now, links are not really doing anything. 44 more banelings on the way. Still very healthy looking worker count here for our friend Dark. While Maru is struggling to get back to that max supply. 35 SCV falling in that last engagement. Of course, not quite what you want. Planetary at the top side will be able to focus on a bunch of these banelings. But eventually it will fall just like the tank does. And slowly but surely we see Maru falling apart here. Now, it is still possible that he takes one hell of a fight. I mean, he has decent army supply. He wants to max out. He wants to get 3-3. And then with that massive army, that 3-3 army, he wants to fight a couple of times. But I'm having such a hard time even seeing him move out. There's not enough turrets anywhere. He doesn't have enough anti-air. These mutas are going absolutely ham. Plus 3 flyer attacks is about to be done. There's 6 ultras on the way. I'd love to see 1 or 2 infestors being mixed in as well. But yeah, this muta harass is just forcing Maru's hand. And Maru right now is alright. I need to go. There's nothing else I can do. 123 army supply, which is good. But there's 4k in the bank for my opponent. So it's going to be a rough fight, honestly. And it's most likely going to be completely on creep. Because Maru does not have the time. He does not have time to waste. He can't just go, alright. Let's just relax for a bit, clear creep, then wait 5 minutes, then push forward, clear more creep. No, it's now or never as the mutas are flying in, right-clicking this command center. This is one of the final mining bases that Maru actually has. How many larvas are available? There's 83 larvae available, which means 160 links can be produced here. Mutalisk are not even in this fight. I don't think it's gonna matter too much. Good transfuses on top of the Ultralisk, completely on creep, and Maru GG's out as Dark takes game number 1. Between these two lovely fellas. Let's hop straight into game number 2. Alright, game number 2 between Dark and Maru. This time it's going to be on Everdream. As we see Dark playing with... Is that himself? Yeah, that sounds a bit weird. Not sure who the guy's on the picture. I think it is Dark. So he's playing with himself on his own hatchery. It still sounds a bit weird. I'm sorry for that. It's okay. It's okay. As we have in the bottom right, Dark. Top left is going to be Maru, who, after a failed 2 Rex in game number 1, decides to just play it standard here. Straight barracks into what seems to be a hatchery. For my boy Dark. 16 hatchery, very standard stuff here. Nothing too old. Now, this map is, I think, a little bit good for Terran. Lots of choky areas, of course. Tanks can be positioned in cute locations. Multiple of these locations exist on the map. It's a bit similar to how Nightshade worked. In that way, where you have good pushing paths, easy to defend third for the Terran. Now, the early game might be slightly better for Zerg here than it was on Nightshade, because Hellion damage is going to be a lot less likely. I think these bases are easy to defend from Banshees as well, but we'll see exactly how Dark is going to be playing this out. As here we have Maru going down to his natural, throwing down a CC. He's going to be playing Reaper into Marine as he opened with Barracks Gas. No Gas Barracks shenanigans, no Marine first shenanigans, just the good old standard Barracks Gas into a Reaper. He's going to be showing off some of his famed Reaper micro, I should say. The SCV scouts and decides to return back home. No blocking of the third base. Just checking to make sure it's not a pool first. Drone managed to sneak out to the third. We'll see Dark take the line third. I actually thought they would be taking this third, but perhaps too difficult against this dead space. I'm not quite sure. Not aware, of course, of all the intricacies of this matchup. So we have the first 2 queens about to pop out. Second gas is taken already, so if you compare the styles of Maru and Innovation, we see Innovation usually with a lot greedier openings, faster third CCs, delaying that second gas, and here we see Maru with a faster second gas is going to be focusing more on that harassment style, making sure he can do some damage to his opponent and try to get ahead that way. Very cool to see, to have these top players play relatively different already in the early game. Queen is taking some damage from the Reaper. Oh, actually, first Tumor died. I didn't quite realize that. It's gonna be nice here for Maru. 2 Hellions on the way. There's a Tech Lab coming out as well. Is this barracks gonna swap away for the starboard? No, it's gonna be straight stim. So this has to be a... Oh, I thought it was gonna be a medevac. It's gonna be a Viking instead. This is very odd. I don't see a lot of builds like this anymore where fast Viking with quick double gas. Nowadays it's all about that fast 30cc timing. It seems like all of those players love it. We're seeing how many cars? 4 cars, and then the swap. Is this gonna be a 3 Rex before triple CC? Wow. Oh wow. This is almost like a TVP build, but it just gets scouted. I mean, this barracks timing should really just tell the tale, shouldn't it? We have roaches on the way for dark. These are they defensive roaches? I don't know. I don't think so. We have 3 overlords on the way. 6 roaches coming out right now. This is not the build you want to be getting roaches against, though. This is not it, my friend. This is absolutely not it. Oh, he's gonna turn them straight into Ravagers? Maybe he's misreading the situation. No, he's actually just moving across the map, but after scouting these fast barracks, I think he should have realized, okay, this is not the time to build a bunch of roaches to attack. Like, this is definitely not the time. We have a move out here, gets spotted by the Viking. 1 bunker is on the way, tank is about to pop. Oh man, this... what the hell, what? The journey of a lifetime for this tank, eh? There's no high ground vision here though. There's no overlord, so a tank on the high ground is going to be able to do massive amounts of damage. These links are pushing in. And I feel like there's enough units already, even without the tank. That's so sad. 1 stim already used. Doesn't want to overstim his units, of course. There's no medevacs on the way yet, as there is a pretty big supply block right now. A couple of barrels raining down on top of the tank. Good stim. SCV pool being utilized here. Just like Dark is just gonna keep going. If the +1 dies, that would be a little bit annoying, but it's not the end of the world either, is it? Second tank is out on the high ground. He's gonna be able to shell away those Ravagers. 5 more workers on the way here for Dark, who hasn't really done enough damage quite yet. Siege tank on 7 kills currently. As the first medevac finally arrives, and this is kind of a game changer, I have to admit. First medevac arriving and +1 are gonna be 2 very big things, because now Stim all of a sudden seems a lot more viable here. 2 medevacs have arrived. Biles don't hit the Viking. Yeah, that's good. 10 workers on the way for Dark, and you could say, well, Dark is up like 15 workers, sure. But he hasn't been. This is the first time he's actually getting ahead. He's gonna be down in upgrades. His stack is pretty crap. Like, there's no Baneling Nest. Yeah, I'm kind of liking Maru's position here. He's gonna be going for a double drop as well. Trying to get some damage in, trying to make sure there's no fort base here. There doesn't seem to be, which is a good thing. I mean, the moment there's a fort base there, it just becomes a lot harder for Maru to do stuff. If he doesn't manage to cancel it, gets the pull. Big snipes. Viking moving around looking for overlords to clear vision. But don't need to clear vision if there is no vision, of course. Now these 2 medevacs might be able to kill a tumor or 2. No, instead decide to go for the front. Kinda like that, honestly. More likely to be a path of attack, obviously. We have the 16 Marines dropping out. So it's just 15 at this point. 1 has tragically died. Medevac 3 and 4 on the way now. Supply still looking good for Dark, but of course supply can be a little bit well, it can be faking it a little bit. It doesn't necessarily have to be an accurate representation of the state of the game. As the upgrades are looking good for Maru here. He's trying to trade some damage. Roaches, of course, always inflate supply as well. Overseer does go down. Now I'm expecting 1 timing here for Dark, and that's when his 1-1 finishes. He's gonna have a time where he's actually gonna be about even in upgrades, and he's gonna be up in supply. He might actually be able to do some damage there, so Maru needs to be very careful of that timing. Now this position is absolutely nasty. Look at these bad boys on the high ground. Flank needs to be utilized here in order to be able to clean this. No flank is being used. Instead, Maru decides to just run back home. Snipes a Ravager, snipes a Roach, and then it's like, okay, go back down, my friend. It's not your time to shine yet. Rock being taken down, not sure for what. Couple of biles actually we missed everything. 1 or 2 Marines did end up dying. Nidus network, okay. There we go, Mr. Dark. There we go. Some hideout plays. But how many tanks is there? There's 4 tanks. Is there more on the way? No, but there's... Oh, there's Marauders on the way. I like that a lot. We see 3 tech labs already done. These Marauders are going to do absolute wonders against these tanks. Marine flank, we'll need to pick up. There's a lot of medevacs here. We'll be able to help out in the main army. Where's that first Nidus? Not being utilized quite yet. Probably will be going into the main base. I usually love it when they put a Nidus outside and the second one inside, rather than doing it like this. Marines will be able to deal with this. Couple of biles forward. Get a medevac and maybe some damage. No damage on the CC. Or the orbital command in this case. Piles raining down on top of these depots. 2 depots do end up falling. Overlord goes down in the main as well, which is a big deal. Now the only avenue of attack is going to be the front. There's a lot of Ravagers here. Can he get the Biles down? Problem is, if he has to move forward into the Marines and Marauders, he's going to lose a bunch of DPS. These Marines and Marauders are just going to be shooting, and I don't think he even needs the tanks at this point. Tanks are helping from the backline, giving some mental support to these Marines and Marauders. A shot here and there. GG gets called as Maru wins game number 2 and ties up the series 1-1. Welcome back to game number 3 between Dark and Maru. We're tied 1-1 right now. The failed 2 Rex in game 1. We saw Maru managing to take it back on Submarine with some some cool Marine tank play against those roaches, those Ravagers. Very weird build order by Maru, opening up with 3 Rex before command center in that last game. Something we don't see a lot, honestly, and I don't think that Dark quite expected it. This build really was designed to kill some kind of 3cc opener. We do have a 16 hatch coming out of our good friend Dark here. And once again with the fast barracks coming out of Maru. Now this is a beautiful map. And I'm saying that for one reason. People who've been watching this channel or my main channel, they know what happens on this map. And that's somewhere in the top left corner over here, and somewhere in the bottom right corner over here. There's a monster walking around called the Ursadon. It is the absolute best animal that has ever lived on StarCraft 2 maps. It's massive. It looks like a polar bear on steroids. And you can kill it with 1 shot. Hell, you can kill it just by clicking on it. So, I hope we're going to be seeing some of those. It's automatically what makes this my all-time favorite map as well. It also tends to provide pretty good games, but that's of course kind of irrelevant when we look at a map. It's usually the animals that really make the map. Now, Overlord is moving across the map after scouting for those proxy Rexes, making sure nothing is around. There's a bit of a dark spot here, which is interesting to see. And here comes the SCV of Maru. Let's see what he will be able to do. Well, oh, look, there's a hatchery. That's what he's going to be able to do. Just goes back home right now. Like, that was cool. But time to go back to mining, my friends. That's exactly what he's going to be doing. Here we have our Reaper making his way across the map as well. Wow, beautiful unit it is actually. Let's see if he's going to be able to get anything then. A lot of the time we see these Zergs not even losing a single Zergling, but with the micro that we know Maru has, that can of course be different. 6 Lings are produced, so that's 2 more than we usually see. All of them taking a lot of damage as well. Good mine. Oh, we start with Inject first. Usually we always see a Tumor first from the Natural Queen, so that's going to be kind of odd. He done a lot of damage on this Reaper as well, so especially that makes it a bit weird to see, honestly. Now, we do have that the second tumor that's going to come down at about 308 usually. Of course, Maru is aware of that. I think this tumor is going to go down for free. We see a high ground move here. Oh, trying to get a tumor on the high ground does not work. Does allow the tumor on the low ground to go down for free now, and Maru feels like he can't stay much longer. He's afraid of speed finishing up, even though speed is pretty late. See what's going to happen in this game. So you see fast triples CC, not quite as fast as we see Innovation do sometimes, but still pretty decent timing. Actually, this might be as fast as Innovation does. This looks like a hella fast CC. I think this was before the first two cars started. So yeah, this is an Innovation CC timing actually. So the build that he's been liking the most. And I think this is kind of what Dark had been hoping for last game. Once again, he's playing a Roach Warren. Second gas coming down as well. So we might be seeing something similar here. It's going to be Banshee with this though. We see that fast second gas. Stim starting. 4 Hellions for now. Just 2 Hellions now. 4 Hellions for now. So we have 41 workers done, going up to 44 right now. Overlords are starting to build, and here come the roaches. But with a Banshee, I feel like this should be pretty much fine for Maru here. It's hard to say sometimes though, right? If the Banshee is out of position, if he's trying to make some cool plays somewhere, then he sometimes can lose. Still against this type of All-in. What the hell is he doing with his Banshee? He's not getting cloak either, by the way. It's interesting to see. He's just keeping them at home. He saw at least one roach at this point, so he knows what's happening. We're gonna see a bunker go down. I was gonna say, where's the bunker? No E-base have started yet. Barracks 2 and 3 are on the way. Here come the E-base as well. I mean, 2 Banshees is going to be absolutely fine. We've seen 4 roaches, 7 overlords on the way. Once again, a big supply block by Dark. I had to build 7 overlords to get out of it. That's not usually what you want. These high numbers of overlords. This is the second time I've seen Dark do it in this series, so perhaps a little bit nervous, perhaps not really on point today. Yes, Maru didn't really take any damage there. I mean, he built the two Banshees that didn't do anything either, and he has a lot of cars that feel like won't be able to do too much, but what was this? 4 roaches into a spire, so perhaps a bit of a fake all-in here by Dark, trying to make Maru believe that this was going to be the same thing, but instead was something very different. 6 more roaches on the way now to deal with those Hellions. Mutalisks are still pretty far away. Creep isn't really being defended whatsoever. Here the roaches are being tricked, or well tricked, being told to chase these Hellions. Now there's still roaches in position down here. With these extra roaches, defending creep should be a lot easier at least. Don't want to say easy, but it's going to be a lot easier. A bit of a miss micro here by Maru, losing a couple of Hellions. Overseer spotting everything that he needs to see. Sees the barracks, didn't see the E-base, but he's gonna assume those are there. 73 workers currently for Dark. It's just a 54 of Maru, and we see this very classic Mura rush into double Evo Baneling Nest. It's been the flavor of the month at this point already. I wanted to say flavor of the day, but I mean, the day is pretty young, and I've seen this for the past couple of weeks already, where the late upgrades, fast Muralist dealing with that first drop relatively easily, maybe doing some counter harass. I mean, it worked out in game number 1 on Eternal, but we shouldn't forget on Eternal that there also was a big advantage there for Dark with that failing 2 racks. Now, creep spread is looking absolutely abysmal here at this point. I mean, there's nothing near his 3rd base. There's what, a tumor and a half outside his 4th. And there's a tiny line, a strip of creep. I don't even really want to call it a line. Like it's so small. Turrets are done already, so Mutalisk won't be able to do very much in terms of harassment. Oh, look at it! Look at it! Oh, hairy, angry, ugly. And it disappears in the fog of war, but oh, I'm glad we caught a glimpse of it I get nervous whenever I see this. I can't speak anymore. That's how beautiful I find him. Now, here we have Maru moving forward, trying to get some damage down. 1-1 has finished. A lot of roaches are here. Banes are moving in. No baneling speed yet. Piles are hitting the tanks as well. So good start of the fight here for Maru. Who actually managed to do absolutely everything. Mutas are on the other side of the map. You're idling on the refinery. 6 drones have gone down. This base is gonna fall. I wonder if there's actually enough here for Dark to hold. Well, at least not to hold his fort base. That's gonna be for sure. But without 1-1, without any banelings, without baneling speed. This little push might have just done a little bit too much damage here. I mean, tank does end up getting cleaned up. Maru's getting a fort base, starts his 2-2 upgrades already, and continues tank production. I mean, at this point, Dark does not want to be building roaches anymore. He realizes what has just happened. He GG's out. And Maru wins game number 3 here in this best of 5 series. Game number 4 between Maru and Dark, as Maru managed to win that last game with some quick and easy marine tank push with 1-1. After that rather fantastic early game that he had, killing a lot of creep. Not really overreacting to whatever it was that Dark was doing, not taking any damage from the Mutalisk. All seemed to be enough for him to then just walk across the map and kill him. So a pretty fantastic game there by him. It's always so funny to me when that kind of stuff happens. You have Dark like doing all these mind games, like, alright, I'm gonna show 4 roaches and I'm gonna move them across the map, and then afterwards I'll be able to defend my creep with them. And Maru's like, alright, 4 roaches, I'll throw down a bunker, keep my 2 banshees at home, let's go baby, let's dance. And then after 3 minutes of pretend defending, he moves across the map, kills every tumor that ever existed. Then his tanks pop and he's like, okay, time to roll out. He rolls across the map and just actually moves across his opponent. Of course, with slightly better micro than most of us ever would be able to do, but nonetheless still pretty impressive. Is this a fake bunker rush? The way he's moving his SCV is in such a way that it looks like he wants to fake a 2-rex of some sort. So Dark is gonna see this and is gonna be like, hey, wait a second, what's happening here? Does this trigger a response? He cancels the gas, pulls a couple of SCVs, bunker starts immediately. Oh, we're seeing just a very small worker pool actually. This is insane. If you compare it to that last game, the amount of drones that were being pulled is way smaller right now. And this is gonna delay that natural base of Maru by about 10 seconds, of course. What a reaction. The calmness in which Dark responded to this is something that is really quite impressive. Wow. No drone pulls, no nothing, just calm defense. Cancels his gas, now he just rebuilds it. He's gonna get 6 links to deal with that initial Reaper. 3rd base is gonna be in time. Oh, this is one of the best defenses to a fake I've seen. Especially because Maru already played it earlier. I absolutely loved how he did that. So calm, so collected, showing why he is the current BlizzCon champion and to some people still the best player in the world. 6 links are out. First queen pops as well. Let's see if he's going to be using that for a tumor. Once again, inject first here. I wonder what the logic behind it is. These days, it's pretty much standard to throw the tumor down first. Instead, we see a tumor on the high ground. So connecting these 2 bases has more priority than pushing creep forward. To me, that makes very little sense. But if Dark does it multiple times, perhaps he has something, or he knows something that I don't, which I wouldn't be surprised by. This guy seems to have an absolutely massive brain. Double marine into reactor command center going down. We're going to be seeing some Hellions popping out soon as the orbital command starts. Reaper tries to control creep here down on the low ground. Might be able to snipe a tumor here or there. First 2 Hellions will start and we have... the barracks moving forward. That's cool. When you get the 2 marines you try to snipe the Overlord. Now, Overlord is not here, so tough luck. And he returns back home. Actually curious what we're gonna see with this. Probably just gonna be a tech lab. And I'm assuming... Oh, okay. So tech lab here. First 2 Hellions popping out right now. Very weird build order. This seems to be not that tight with the timings, but I mean it is Maru, so it seems unlikely that it's not tight. Is this a Raven? No, it's gonna be Banshee. Okay. It is gonna be Banshee. Is he gonna... The thing with Cloak is that Banshees without Cloak just suck. So it's like, if you're gonna go Banshee, you might as well get them. No, never mind. Apparently, if you're gonna get Banshee, you don't even need Cloak. They don't just suck. Maybe for safety, afraid of some kind of roach push. 2 extra racks are being added right now as Reactor starts building on this factory. Curious to see what Maru is going to be doing. Very fast lair once again. Actually, this is a really quick lair. Fast 4 gas. Where's the Spire going down? Nowhere yet, it seems like. There we go. Up in the natural. Why did I click on the tumor? Here we go. Well, close to the natural. Still in the main base. Have a Spire going up. A little bit of a vulnerable position, honestly. It's the first Banshee moves across the map. We have this sort of creep thread in to the back of the base, so maybe that's what this fast tumor was for. I guess he might be wanting to play part of the bottom side of the map. That's interesting. I mean, his creep thread is looking pretty healthy, I'm not gonna lie. That is looking really nice. Now here comes that one Banshee that we have. Don't forget, it's only a single Banshee. I mean, there's queens in position. It's not gonna do anything. Single Banshees are like single oracles. It's more pretending that you're doing something. I guess this Banshee could forever stop the creep threat here on the bottom side and might be able to do some creep denial here at the top as well. Only 4 Hellions were produced, so fast barracks, fast move out, most likely here for Maru. The more Hellions you build, of course, the longer your extra 2 barracks are going to be denied, the less Marines you have for your first push out. So we're going to be seeing a very quick push out here. Out of Maru, it's going to be hitting around 6:25, 6:30 at the latest, I would say. There's already, what is this, 15 Marines, I think? Yes, 15 Marines. One row is 12, and the next one is 3. 12 plus 3 is indeed 16. Now, it's going to pick them up. It's going to be a bit slow with it, honestly, which surprises me. Still going to be hitting at around 6:30. Let's see how ready Dark is. It feels like he forgot his Baneling nest. There's no Baneling speed yet. There's 8 Mutalisk out. Holy crap, these Mutas come out fast these days. 6 minutes and 34 seconds. This is some timings, my friend. This is some timings. Oh, Maru is not ready for this whatsoever. The fact of the matter is that there's no Banelings though. So if Maru actually pushed forward, I feel like he might have been able to do something, but neither combat or 1-1 were done. So 6 SCVs are just gonna die. 8, 9 SCVs. If he flies into the natural, he's going to be able to get a couple more. Turret just now starting. Oh, this is going to be a lot of SCVs dead here, I feel like. A couple of missed targets, but still 11 workers going down. Between players of this caliber, usually means that we're going to be looking at a very, very rough game here for Maru, who is struggling to get his extra barracks out. I mean, he's going up to 8 barracks. That much can be clear. He's playing his 8 racks with the gold. He's gonna be going into a fast +2 as well. Tank is going down already though. A single Marine is not gonna be enough here, Maru. You're gonna need more to deal with these Mutalisks. 2 more workers do end up falling. These have been some very useful Mutalisks. 2 have gone down, but so have 1 tank and 13 SCVs. Just now we get the full saturation on this gold base, so we'll be popping up to 2.8 to 9k minerals per minute. Wow, even more. 3.3. Guess a couple of mules are working. Oh, okay, 3 mules in the natural. This kind of indicates that Maru isn't really planning on moving out in the next minute or so, because otherwise he would be saving scans. Good way to check that is by seeing if the Terran is dropping mules. Good harass once again by Dark. Just getting 2 SCVs here. Continue spreading his creep. More Mutas join the flock. A murder of Mutas. Absolutely fantastic. Look at these guys fly. Their little wings. Looking for any ground birds. Let's see if there's any around today. No Urubus, it looks like. Oh, 2 over here, look at that. Right next to each other. They might be mating soon. So we have... how many Mutas are we at right now? 18 Mutalisk. Oh. Press the wrong button and back to the ground birds. Urus are kind of like chickens. They can't really fly. They're useless. Might be tasty though. Look at them. 80 Mutalisks flying around, like I said before. 6 more on the way. +2 hasn't started yet for neither the Mutas nor the ground army. I'm not a massive fan of these 6 Mutas because of that. I feel like upgrades might be a little more important because even though you killed a lot of SCVs in the early game, you're still going to be dealing with a 2-2 timing that's faster than yours. And that's just because whenever Zerg plays this fast Mutalist style, your upgrades are always going to be slower than the Terran, unless the Terran falls asleep on his keyboard. And Maru is known to do a lot of things, but sleeping on his keyboard is definitely not one of them. Man, the Mutalist count is so insane. What the crap. 20 Muta should be able to just one-shot this turret, I feel like. There's 3 turrets at the 3rd base, so that seems like mission impossible. But then again, mission impossible in the end also worked out, so... We see Dark actually diving in, getting 2 Mutalisks, and once again, Tom Cruise is doing it. Kills 3 turrets. Bunch of SCVs going down, and this is forcing Maru's hand once again. It's very similar to that Eternal game where it feels like once Dark actually gets any kind of edge over a Terran, he just pounces and pounces and pounces until as a Terran there's nothing for you to do except just tap out. I feel like something similar is happening here once again. Beautiful Mutalisk, and their control here is so good, it's insane. Oh, as I said, 3 Mutas move away from the pack and get brutally murdered by a couple of wild marines that are injecting drugs into their arm to shoot even faster than usual. Here we have the big fight, partly going to happen off creep actually, which is surprising. There's a lot of banelings, and this was a good fight here for Maru, who still had a very high supply count as well. Well, this was very, very sloppily done. 2-2 of course helping Maru out as well. Still 165 supply. Maru looking for those extra units, and if he was maxed here, if he was on 200 supply, I would say, well, this is looking pretty good for Maru. But now, even army supply, if this fight happens on creep, with 2-2 upgrades being done, oh, I'm starting to feel some trouble on the way here. Still 10 larva in the bank, in the larva bank. Patience here is absolutely insane. 2-2 is finished. Well, +2 attack is finished. +2 carapace is about to. Mutas are coming in from an angle. Absolutely crushing this army. What a fight by Dark. Coming from 5 different angles. Mutas flying over some rocks. Banelings, links from every direction. And this fight gets absolutely crushed. Still 84 workers out for him. Injects never seem to stop as 54 more links are being produced at the time. And he just rolls across the map. What a player. What a style. So momentum based is how he plays. It's beautiful to watch. Once he gets you, he never lets you go. And Maru seems to have experienced that this game once again, just like on that Eternal game. So we'll be heading into a game number 5 in this enticing best of 5 series. Here we are, map number 5 in this best of 5 series between none other than Maru and Dark. I'm curious to see if we're going to be seeing some proxy once again out of Maru. He's known to do crazy things in last games of the series, but it looks like he's going to stay put for now. He's going to stay at home. There's going to be a barracks in the main base. There's going to be a barracks in the main base, and that's a big thing. Barracks first into gas here. Once again, the most standard openings for both players. And Pillars of Gold, one of those maps that Zergs really seem to like. Lots of space, of course, in the open. Lots of little areas to flank with. Now, there are some ramps, and there are some spots where tanks perhaps can be put. But you always gotta remember that if you take down all these rocks that are here on the map, all of a sudden this map is so extremely open that it almost feels criminal for the Terran to attack here. So definitely a Zerg favorite map if I ever speak with my Zerg friends, with my Terran. I don't really have Terran friends, my Terran acquaintances. It's difficult to have Terrans as friends, of course. Yeah, they tend to whine a lot. No, just kidding. I love you guys. We have Command Center going down in the natural here for Maru, who is just looking to play standard. Once again, SCV scout. I love that they just SCV scouts. The casual popping my head in, make sure it's a head first, and then poop, out of here again. No pretending, just straight up seeing what he wants. Doesn't want to block no third base, doesn't want to do no eBay blocks. He'll play his own build that he likes. It's like, alright, I've spotted what I needed. Time for me to return back home and do what I do best, and that's micro marines. Is that a pineapple? Yeah, it's an ugly pineapple. I think it is a pineapple though. But the top of the pineapple isn't on top of it. What a weird looking thing. Gotta ask the map maker what it is. Oh, one drone died. What the hell? Dark wetting the bed. That's not good. Here goes unit number 1 now. Yes, this is why he usually builds 6 links against Maru, eh? Just making sure you don't lose that drone there, my friend. Now, this time he only built 4 links, so actually losing the drone isn't that big a deal. Of course, you'd rather have 2 extra links still alive, but yeah, if you compare it to the other games, I mean, this is not going to be it, you know? This is not going to be the reason why Dark will win or lose. It's going to be more into the mid game, more into the later parts of the game, majority of the time. This time we did start with a tumor on that high ground, so or in the natural on the high ground, rather than we've seen him do before, either over here or just straight injecting with both queens. So interesting to see that he does change it up time after time. Now I'd be surprised to see, honestly, to see anything that isn't the Mutalisk build at this point, right? We might see a Roach start, but he seems to love his Mutalisk build so much. Here comes the Roach Warren. Once again. And this time it might actually work out if he does a review version, because we see Viking being built, no Banshee on the way. There is 4 cars. Once again, only 4, man. Low numbers of cars over here. Not really caring too much about honestly doing damage. It feels like a lot of Terrans, when they think of the early game, they think, what do I need to do in order to get ahead? And Maru seems to approach it more, what do I need to do in order to not die and possibly stay even? That kind of seems to be his way of looking at the matchup, because he knows if he gets to where he wants, oh, he's gonna be fine. Oh, he's gonna be in a very good spot. So I think this is the first time we actually see him only play like without Banshees or of some sort, some extra safety. Perhaps on Eternal Empire he didn't either, but if you think back of Submarine, he had the very fast 2nd and 3rd racks, he had the fast tank there. And once again here we have a pretty quick tank. We see a couple of roaches being built. This is just for defending creep though. Once again, massive supply block here for Dark. Holy crap. 7 Overlords being built. If you only have 8 Overlords or 7 Overlords at one point, and then you need to build 7 more, that's a very big deal, and that's not a good thing. That is definitely not a good thing. We have a tank. Shooting from a distance at some links. That's gonna be completely fine. As these Ravagers are like, well, that's gonna be it for it, lads. Let's go back home. We can do some defending as well, but Dark's not going to be too happy with this start, obviously. Much rather would have not had those roaches. I mean, he is once again rushing into a lair. Not as fast as before, though. Before his lair was done fast. Oh, okay, we're going to see roaches. We're going to see a roach build. Huh. Seeing an actual roach build in 2020. I thought I'd seen it all, but... And this is not a roach build out of poverty, like we saw him do on Submarine, right? On Submarine it was like, oh crap, my all-in failed, well, better make some more roaches, because it's the only thing I can do. No, here it is, well, I decided I'm gonna play roaches, and now I am gonna play roaches. I'm curious to see how that will work out. I don't actually see a lot of that happen. We saw Vanya in TSL 5 play against TY, absolutely murder TY with a 1-1 roach timing. And after that getting slaughtered 3 games in a row, so not quite sure if that was the ultimate play, but roaches. Roaches, roaches. We have the first 2 drops heading into the main base. Won't be able to do too much. No fourth base yet. Is this a tell or is this just... I think this is a tell. I think if you're Maru here, you go like, huh, that's kind of odd, my friend. By the way, Maru went for the fast 3 Rex again, didn't he? There was no fast triple CC. I completely missed that. Once again, playing the same build as he did on Submarine. So now we're gonna see what happens if Maru plays like he wanted to on Submarine. What happens there? What's the difference here? Well, so far the difference seems to be that he has less workers, worse upgrades. Doing a little bit of damage though. And we have a Viking looking around for some overlords, making sure they are not there. C2 drops pick up. This is gonna be one hell of a 1-1 timing, isn't it? I mean, this fort base is so late. Maru's gonna know what's coming for him, right? No, he doesn't. He's moving out. What the? This is not the time to move out here, Maru. Into a 1-1 roach all in with 4 tanks. Oi, 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 oi. There's no creep here, though. There's no creep, but... I mean, there's also no creep if you're defending. I much rather would see him defend at this point. I think Maru is completely misreading the situation. Rocks are being taken down very quickly. Siege up from a distance. I mean, it's still a good army that Maru has. Don't get me wrong. But he should be doing this defensively. He does not need to be here. He does not need to be here. He's being all in and he is not realizing it. See, big drop into the main base. Even 1 or 2 tanks fall for free. Oh, is he gonna be in a lot of trouble. We have a big drop into the main, like I said. This is 32 Marines basically, and still a bunch of them in those medevacs. Picking up once again. 4 Marines do end up falling here. We have a run by with what? Why would you run by with 2 Ravagers? This is the most expensive unit you have in your army. We see the rest of the roads moving across the map as he hits max. These things aren't even... Yeah, this is... He's not pretending that it isn't an all-in, honestly. This is an all-in. And he's going in. Now we might see the weirdest base trade. If that's the case, I'm actually kind of fearing for the life of Dark here. I mean, there's a lot of tanks here. There's a lot of Marines. This third base is just gonna get lifted. Well, that's nice, but... Is this it? There's a lot of roaches, a lot of queens. Some of these, well, a lot of these tanks are gonna die as well. I mean, everything is gonna die. Roach Warren does fall, needs to be rebuilt ASAP. 2 tanks get saved. You're still on 3 base against 3 base, technically, but the longer this goes on, the worse it's gonna get for I want to say Park, but it really does say Dark. If this SCVs die, that would be a little bit annoying as well. I think Maru might have gone back a little bit too fast with those SCVs. 8 workers go down immediately. 2-2 is on the way for Dark now. He's also getting an infestation pit. 13 workers fall. Dark gets his fort base again. His creep spread is absolutely terrible though. How many 4 queens are out? Oh. he needs something. He needs something fast because... Yeah, sure, the fights have been going his way, but the larger the tank count gets, the larger that Marauder counts get, and once 2-2 finishes here for Maru, oh, I'm predicting trouble. I predict a riot. And that's not good. But because if Shell hits, we'll be able to trade pretty decently with those roaches. Not a single Marauder has gone down yet. Good kiting, 1 Marauder does fall. Now a couple of Marines go down as well, but this costs Dark way more roaches than it cost Maru anything. 2 more drops being sent out. There's so many tanks there. It seems impossible for Dark to ever attack into this. 15 more drones are on the way, as well as +2/+2 Baneling speed, burrow, infestors being added. Is there the infestor upgrade? Pathogen glands, there's not. 3 bases going down at the same time, by the way. It's interesting to see, going straight from 3 to 6 base. Some of these rare plays, we don't see a whole lot. Ravager's trying their best to do some damage. +2 is about to finish up, will definitely help in this little fight as well. Oop, almost walked straight into his own biles. Spores, ooh, what is this? Great wall of spores. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So what do we have here? We continue with a creep spread, and Dark is getting some creep spread. Only single tumors are pushing forward. Vipers are being built. We have a couple of fungals, but this is not enough units, is it? What's going on here? Where's the rest of your army, Dark? Oh, these Marines are in a hidden spot. Will be able to get a lot of these drones if he targets them. No, just go straight for the hatchery. I like the play. I like the play of the hatchery. You could go for drones, but if you get the hatchery, what are the drones going to be doing? Well, the answer is apparently not too much. Meanwhile, we have Dark pushing in as well. 3-3 has not started yet. Instead, he's going for melee upgrades and carapace at this point. This side of the army is getting pushed back. There's still so much money in the bank here for Dark, who once again tries to retake his fort base. Now there's a fort base done already for Maru. Once this turns into a planetary, I don't really see a way for Dark to ever kill this. Good move out here by Maru, getting a lot of that creep again. Siege up is a little bit late. This is off of creep. Good fungals hitting. Holy crap, a lot of tanks are dying, not even sieging up. Oh, one more tank falls. Good engagement here for Dark. Does need to back off now. The moment he runs out of fungals, it feels like his army is just a lot worse, especially of creep. Now, 2 Vipers still full energy. Might be able to pull in a tank or 2, maybe even Blinding Cloud. Here we go. Blinding Cloud not being used. Instead, we see a Parasitic Bomb. Oh, and a Blinding Cloud actually on one of the tanks. Not the greatest of Blinding Clouds. Where are those fungals? And there's still one Infestor in the back. Might be able to cast 2 fungals. Will he manage? Will he manage? No, decides to hide it for a bit longer. He just jaws all over again. Oh my god, massive fungal hitting absolutely everything. Biles ending a lot of that Marauder army. Good fight here once again for Dark, who with very primitive means manages to achieve a whole lot, which is impressive. And once again, we look at the supplies and we see, well, Dark is up. Dark has decent enough eco, but Dark's creep threat still is terrible. His bases are probably running out, I would assume. Yeah, look, 2 bases completely run out. He needs a 5th, but he doesn't have the creep threat to keep those outside bases, at least not for now. And Maru he keeps going. He keeps soldiering on. Fort base has landed now. He's mining, and he's mining with conviction. Maru going towards the bottom side of the map once again. We'll be able to clear these bases with relative ease. There it goes, that 6th base, and whoa, no! What a failure! He accidentally cancelled his 5th. What a mistake. That was almost done. And he really needed that. Look at his income, it's so low right now, even though he has a lot of workers, but they're just not doing anything. Oh no, Maru managed to snipe the 3rd base as well. What an absolute massive mistake here coming out of Dark, who just cucked himself. Hardcore. How is this even possible? +2 adrenal glands on the way. I don't understand what just happened here. But what a mistake it was. There's not a whole lot of anti-air here coming out of Dark. I mean, Ravagers will be able to deal with these if he biles. There's an Infestor, being a sneaky man. Okay, well, this is dead. Right, it's not gonna get anything done. I can see that. Oh no, does not get it. Dark playing a little bit sloppy here. Oh, sorry, once again. A little bit sloppy observing as well. Once again, we have this bottom army actually going towards that bottom base. We'll be able to get a cancel. Dark is running out of time, it feels like here. He needs to do more. Can we get a bile? Hell yeah. Can I dig it? Yes, you can. Good fight here for Maru with those mines. Lots of Marauders in this army. We'll be able to get some pretty decent trades here. I'm not a fan of how this game is going for Dark. Even though he's been ahead at times, it always felt like he was on a massive clock, and it never seemed like he actually could finish the game. It always felt like, yeah, he can do some damage. Yeah, he can force a lift on the 3rd, and sure, he has a bigger army. He can win fights on his side of the map, but can I see him move across the map ever? No, not really. I can't really see it, and the longer this game goes on, the more I feel that there's just a little too much Maru at this point, and too little Dark. Maru once again attacking through the top side, is going for this base. Ultralisk might be able to kill this actually. No, good kiting coming out of Maru, and once this 5th base falls for what feels like a 6th time, I am starting to doubt the possibilities here for Dark, and Dark is getting a couple of good fungals once again with these sneaky infestors, but he needs more than good fights. He needs a base, he needs mining, and he's just not getting that done at this point. He can't move across the map because the moment he does, this army moves in, we see a scan forward, and once again we're going to be seeing most likely a snipe on at least some structure. Spore going down. We see an extractor going down. Not the greatest micro here by Maru, but it will be sufficient for at least a decent trade. Planetary, of course, doing some work, and here we just have a little bit too much. Oi, 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 oi. Viper's trying to come in, but it's a little bit too late. We still have 5 changelings here, doing absolutely nothing. We don't have a 6th base on the way yet here for Maru. Oh, we don't even really have a 5th base. I just now realized this is an orbital, but seems to be no issue for Maru because he's the one completely in control for now. Ultralisk does end up falling. Viper goes down somehow. Guess got hit by a mine of sorts. 60 supply up right now here for Maru. I completely missed this random command center. We'll be able to turn into a base unless this Ling is in time with the burrow. No, it's not gonna burrow. It's gonna move just to check. That's not what we needed. We needed a... Oh! Sad. Sad Ling. Oh. He had big dreams and now he's gonna die to the incoming forces of Sauron. The white hand, or well, the yellow star in this case, on their suits. And I mean, Dark is struggling with what seems to be 1/5 of the army of Maru. Once Maru just decides to use every unit he has, I think he's just going to be able to move across the map and collect this victory. His ticket to the season finals for the DreamHack Masters as well, of course, is tied to this. GG gets called and Maru wins this best of 5, 3-2. Congratulations to him, and congratulations to us for witnessing this absolutely fantastic series between, in my opinion, 2 of the best players of their respective races. So glad to see it happen. Thanks everyone for watching. I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's down here. And don't forget to watch any other videos. I upload on a daily basis, about 5 or 6 times a week. I tweet on a bi-daily basis on Twitter. I make no updates on Patreon, but it's good for you to support me there. And I stream almost daily on Twitch. So it's a lot of things. Thanks all for watching. See you all next time.